Hey guys, welcome down. I want to say hello to everybody out there watching today. I want to walk you through the box. And let's start off with, we have haricot vert beans, which haricot vert is just a little French filet bean, very young, very tender beans. Haricot vert is actually French just for green bean. They're just simple little green beans. Guys, no strings in these, very tender. Take the tops off, take the bottoms off of them. Leave them long, let them look good on your plate. But the haricot verts there are a new little French bean. Now, some people will be getting the haricot verts, but just as well, some people will also be getting some half runner beans. Now, these are a little bit more stout than the haricot verts, but the good thing is there are no, there's a little bit of a string in it, but it's very easy to pick out. It'll just come right off. Snap them into your cook pot. Some of your haricot verts this week, guys, may be a little bit dirty. I can't wash the beans from the field. You have to wash your beans right before you cook them when you get home. It's an issue from the farmer. So if you find that some of your beans, you should be washing all your produce. But especially this week, watch the beans. The little haricot verts grow pretty low to the ground on a little bush, so they may have some extra dirt and debris that you want to look at. But outside of that, they're beautiful little beans. So we got our haricot verts and we got our half poles. So we've got both of those coming in. Still have the Zephyr squash varieties that we're liking. Haven't heard anybody have anything negative about those. The Zephyr squash and the crooknecks, y'all are still loving, and my farmers still have it fresh, so I'm going to continue to do that for you. So we've got the bicolor Zephyr and we've got the standard southern crookneck. Also, ruby red ripe tomatoes this week, guys. Don't have any greens. Everybody's going into full red tomato production. Once we get full into August, start coming to the end of July on into the first week of August, you get into some really nice red tomatoes there. So we've got red tomatoes, the Zephyr squash, and the two varieties of beans to start off with. Now what I need you to do, guys, if you would, is kind of focus your attention. I'm going to start doing a little bit of cooking demonstration here. And I want to do a dish for you today. It's called an eggplant Napoleon. A Napoleon is a French term for any kind of stacked dish. Back in the day, a Napoleon in France actually is a dessert, and it's a stacked petit four that's sweet. But what I'm going to do with it, and I've seen a lot of other chefs do it here in the South, is take this eggplant and fry some little eggplant coins. I'm not going to go too deep into the prep, guys, but all you want to do is peel down your eggplant. You can do it with a peeler. I've been doing it with a knife for so long, I just want to keep working on my knife skills as best as I can. Take it, slice it about 1/4 inch thick. You want to get you about 4 or 5, 6, maybe really nice slices off of that eggplant. Now guys, there are two schools of thoughts. When you fry eggplant, there are people around here that salt their eggplant. And for large, overgrown eggplant, it gets bitter when it gets really big. We've got little small, tender eggplant. These are not bitter. Some of your large purple eggplant will get bitter on you. You need to salt it and let it rinse out. Here, you can slice ours. And what you do with it when you slice it, and I've taken it, and I've done just like your grandmama always used to do, get out a pan of flour, season it up with some salt and pepper, dust first just one single coating of the eggplant, then go into your buttermilk, soak it in your buttermilk, and then flip it again, and you get something that's really cake and that'll hold on to the flour. So when you get that second coating of flour on after your buttermilk, you want a really hot pan. Now guys, you can either temp it with a thermometer at 350 degrees, or your flour kind of sizzles when it's hot enough. It'll start to have a very light wisp of smoke. So once it's not too hot, but hot, you want it to just start instantly popping and frying right as it hits that pan. Make sure, guys, I want you to be very careful, but to drop away from you. Don't ever let it flop to you. Drop away so that you have a little bit of barrier on that oil, and don't overcrowd your pan. If you overcrowd your pan, the heat and the temperature of your oil goes down very fast. So this is a 10-inch skillet. I'm going to put 5 pieces of eggplant right there in the skillet. If you go too light on it or too heavy, too many eggplant per, you're going to find that you're just not going to get a nice crispy piece of eggplant. So while I'm letting that fry, you want to let that go for about 1 to 2 minutes each side. Now over here, I've taken some tomatoes and I've juiced them, just some of our red ripe tomatoes here. I've added a little bit of rosemary and just a little bit of vinegar to it. And I'm letting that reduce. And what I want to see that do is start to slowly get to a bubble as I'm frying these eggplant. This sauce technique is what's traditionally called a beurre blanc in France. It's a French sauce technique, and all a beurre blanc is a reduction of vinegars, juices, tomato juice. You could do wine, you can do lemon juice. You reduce your liquids, you add a fat, and then you swirl in butter, and the butter actually emulsifies into the sauce, and it comes out very nice and creamy. Now you can see I had my oil really hot, and it didn't take very long on that first side for that eggplant to crunch up. I'm doing this with a spoon, guys. I've always cooked with spoons. I can fry an egg with a spoon if I want to. You at home, use something slotted, use something you're comfortable with. Don't burn yourselves to make a dish. Be safe in the kitchen, please. I beg of you. So now that's flipped on its second side. I'm just really waiting, guys. My sauce is going to get there. It's just going to take a minute. While I'm waiting on my sauce to actually get there and my eggplant to finish frying, I want to tell you about my cucumbers. I've got Diva cucumbers this week, just like I did last week. Thin-skinned, very honeydew melon, almost in essence. Thin-skinned, no seeds, great pickling cucumbers, so use that. So you've got your pickling cucumbers. And we're also going to do spring onions here. The Alabama spring onion. So we've got our yellow onions. All right, guys, just that quick. The eggplant is done. We're going to move that. I've got a little pan here at home. Drain them out onto some paper towels. Make sure you kind of really dab the grease off of them, guys, at home. So I'm just letting that come up to a boil. Now when that starts to simmer, I'm going to just slowly start swirling in butter right there into the pot as it's on the eye. Kind of over. You don't want to go too hot or you'll actually break your butter sauce, and nobody likes a broken butter sauce. So I just let it start to easily melt out the butter. I'm going to transfer that over here. Once you get that transferred away, you want to start plating up. Take our fried eggplant. You want to kind of lay them out, kind of in a domino fashion there. You got your fried eggplant. Then we take our tomato beurre blanc that we've worked so hard on. Okay, nice little touch of our sauce there, right over the top for our fried eggplant dish. I've got some of our goat feta cheese here. I'm going to take some of that feta, go right down the center with it. Garnish it with some fresh tomatoes. And just a little bit of rosemary. And that way, you've got a nice little dish, little fried eggplant dish for your next dinner party at the house. To wrap it up for the day, I want to show you all about a few more things. We've got bell peppers coming in nice and crisp. Silver Queen corn again this week that looks really good. Got to have the Silver Queen corn. And then we also have the Starflower melon again this week. Guys, remember this was the really sweet, small, petite melons. Thin rind on those. Chill these down when you get them. Enjoy them. They work out really well. Guys, I think that's my time for the day. Taking you through everything. Remember our little fried eggplant dish over here, Carrie, to the right. And enjoy your box. Enjoy everything I've sent to you. Still, guys, don't hesitate to contact me at my email at adam@growalabama.com. I'd like to see you try the eggplant dish. Let me know how you enjoyed it. And if you ever have anything sent to you less than perfect, that's where you can reach me at. Thank you again this week. Come back and see me next week. And Chef Bob also will be around for Farm Nouveau Catering later. So thank you very much.